Welcome back to the Young Folks Vlogs. We're not being serious anymore. But
We're
when
not
were we ever
talking about
serious?
the Oscars until next year-ish.
Next year, try 6 months. Or Tribeca. We're going to that.
Yeah, so we'll be
That's
doing
gonna be
coverage
cool.
for that too, so that'll be awesome.
Yeah, I'll do like crazy vines or something. Gabby, do we have a TYF vine? I don't know. We will soon. So I had a crazy idea. You know how everyone likes different movies? Well, I thought, well, why don't Allie and I force each other to watch movies that the other person really, really likes they haven't seen before? But it's not really like that much of a form of torture. It's just exposing each other to cool stuff. So I started off with the idea of, Allie, have you ever seen Jurassic Park? That was on an old video. I turned into a velociraptor. You can go watch
He
that.
wasn't very pleased.
I was just more astonished, really, than anything.
Yeah.
But your favorite movie, or one of them, is...
My favorite movie.
Your favorite... Your
Of all
Allie's
time.
definitive favorite movie.
For the last 6 years... Longer. 7.
Longer?
Oh my god, I've had a favorite movie for 7 years. It's Almost Famous by Cameron Crowe. And I cannot even like put into words, and I've tried many times to explain my adoration of this film.
Can you at least try to describe the plot?
Yes.
We'll start with Almost Famous.
Okay.
It's directed by Cameron Crowe.
And it's kind of based on his life, where a young kid goes and he becomes a rock critic for this band called Stillwater. And
the real band was the Allman Brothers, I read, before I watched it.
yes, and it's just about this young kid, and he meets this woman, Penny Lane, and I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into the plot, but the main theme is it's a coming of age story, and
we like those.
I absolutely love them when they're done right. And it's about rock music, it's about love, and it's about loving rock music, and
not doing drugs and doing drugs.
And I don't know, again, there are so many things about this movie that in different points in my life over the last couple of years I've identified with, and it always changes with me, and it's rare for a movie to happen. And I don't know, it's so rare for me to have a movie like that. I'm sorry that I'm like shining now. The sun's just all of a sudden
The sun is just kind of glaring on us. She's just really happy about this movie. This movie came out in the year 2000, so it was kind of in a time where some people in the movie, Zooey Deschanel and Jimmy Fallon, I was like surprised to see them when they were like younger doing some small roles. There's a really young Billy Crudup here, who I had only seen before, maybe in a couple other things, but the only one I remember is as Dr. Manhattan in Watchmen. This is really different.
He's also been like Big Fish in a lot of things.
Oh,
but
that's right. I did love Big Fish.
The two performances that have always stuck with me the most have been Kate Hudson as Penny Lane, because
for which she was nominated for the Oscar. No. As right?
No.
As supporting actress?
No.
It's on IMDb, isn't it?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes. But it may have been for Golden Globe.
Academy Award nominated.
Let's start this over.
It's okay.
No.
I made a major mistake last time. It's okay.
But they were nominated for Best Picture, and that's what
they won for they were nominated for
in Golden Globes they were nominated. They won for Best Comedy Musical.
It also won for Best Screenplay.
But,
and as soon as the movie started, that's what really stood out to me, was like how good the writing was.
It was, but I wanted to talk about my two performances really quick.
Do it.
Kate Hudson, again, it is maybe the best example of a perfect casting, because she's never had a role like this. She's never had a performance like this after. And
really likable.
she just, I mean, she
crazy.
completely embodies the character perfectly. Like, there's a quiet sadness to her that isn't overblown, and I don't know, I think she's heartbreaking in a very sincere way. And then there's Philip Seymour Hoffman, who I'm still...
The late, great...
I can't even talk about it still. He plays my favorite character of all time.
And it was such a small role he has, but it's dispersed through the film in a way that it just like it has a huge impact.
It's based on the real life person Lester Bangs, who died I think when he was like late 20s, early 30s, and he was like this monumental image in the rock critic business. You know, he just did it like nobody else did it. And similarly, Philip Seymour Hoffman acted
Did
like
the same
nobody
thing with
else
acting,
did.
yeah.
And he has my favorite quote of all time, where he says, "The only currency in this bankrupt world is what you share with someone else who's uncool." And as 16-year-old Self Allie and now 22-year-old Self Allie, like, it continues to resonate. But you should be talking about this film since
I know.
you're the
Well,
one
I was
who-
gonna say even watching this for the first time at 22 years old, it just it gives you those starry eyes that you had when you first started listening to rock and roll, middle school,
Or,
early
like,
high school.
whenever you started doing something
Yeah.
you love, like,
Yeah, but even what we do, in the way that we write about film, the way the way that William would write about the music, it's just what drives that passion,
Exactly. It's the extent you'll go to and the extent that what you love can change your life. And I think, I don't know, I just love this movie. Again, I've tried writing about it before and I have the hardest time.
It's probably really, really hard. Yeah, so I just wanted to throw it out there. You just recently got this, and this is the version that I watched. This is the director's cut Blu-ray of the movie.
Bootleg
the
version.
bootleg version. It's not actually a bootleg. It's the bootleg version, and you can buy it on Blu-ray.
It's awesome.
So it's like an additional 40 to 45 minutes of movie. You haven't
There are
watched
some
it
great-
yet. I watched it, so
I'm
I
gonna
don't know
watch the
what's
commentary
new
soon.
and not. So, cool.
Yeah, I love it. Switching gears a lot.
Switching major gears. But
I
this,
watched Jurassic Park.
Allie watched Jurassic Park for the first time. So you kind of hit a lot, because you watched Star Wars for the first time and Indiana Jones for the first time.
All in this past year.
All in the past year, like the major,
Tentpole
the whole, the
action
trinity
films.
of old Spielberg, Lucas stuff.
Jurassic Park is now my second favorite Spielberg film.
Behind what?
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yes.
One had Harrison Ford. Tipped the odds. But no, I also just. Really
But the
liked
thing
it all
is, you
more.
have to
But-
talk about the chaos theory, Allie. You have to talk about the chaos theory. Now, what about the tiny little imperfections of the skin? I Goldblum all the time, because Jurassic Park to me was one of those movies. My parents just sat me down in front of the TV with a non-scary edited version, because this movie is actually pretty scary as an adult.
I guess my 5-year-old sister tried coming around to see it, and I had to move.
Yeah, not quite for that.
Kid
but
friendly.
not exactly. But when I was a kid, I loved dinosaurs
to Jurassic
a lot, and this movie had a lot to do with that. It's just the idea of them is so mysterious and incredible. And I think that the effects in this movie still hold up to this day,
They
because
do.
as they were making it, CGI was only just becoming a revolution, so a lot of the stuff was practical effects. A lot of them were animatronic and rubber. And it's that perfect blend, it's that same thing when you watch the first Iron Man. They're gonna remain looking good, because the late Ray Winston, who used to do all those amazing effects, he was like the Ray Harryhausen of our generation. Ray Harryhausen did Clash of the Titans and all the old claymation stuff. But my brother and I watched this movie so many times when we were younger that he and I discussed watching this movie with people is impossible. It's like watching Star Wars with a Star Wars lunatic, just because we remember.
Hence why I watched the movie.
No, but it's like a song to us, tiny little sound cues, or one sound effect, or one line of dialogue, or the helicopter laugh. They got dinosaurs?
I don't like dinosaurs.
Sense of the feeling.
No, when I
Sorry,
was
Allie,
younger.
did you like it?
Yeah. No, I did. I thought it was a lot of fun. I liked it more than I thought I would. At first, I was kind of of all movies. But I was apparently on my Spielberg kick last week, because I watched Raiders of the Lost Ark last week too. So I really just kind of crash course Spielberg, somebody who I've never really had much affection for.
When you get to it, don't watch Indy 4.
I would never. Well, no, I watched it in a Spanish class once in Spanish.
It was probably better.
No, but
Monkeys.
I'm not gonna watch Indy 4. It'll take me a long time to get to the second and third as it is. But I don't know. I really liked it. I thought it did what it had to do. I thought maybe it could have paid off like how with Spielberg and Jaws. He took a really long time getting to actually showing, you know, the shark.
Sure, it had to build that suspense.
Yeah, I thought if they maybe built it up just a little bit more, maybe not like because you know when they first see the
that was even before Alien.
When they first see the stop defending it, I'm not trashing it yet. Before they right when they see the first dinosaurs, when they first get on the park, yeah, the big one with the neck. When they first see that one, like there's this really huge sense of wonder. Like it's kind of a really touching moment. It does it really well. There's all these musical cues, and it's sweet. And then I feel like they almost lose some of that sense of wonder for most of it. There's like the two really awesome set pieces, like with the kids holding up the shield
to plexiglass, yeah.
And then later in the kitchen, like those two work really well. They really amp up the tension. But for a lot of it, I'm not as worried for the protagonists. You know, like I'm not, you know, like I know.
Sure, yeah, when they're like running with the lens flare, with the T-Rex.
But like there are moments where I just thought works, like when they're sitting in the trees afterwards and like the dinosaurs come and eat from them. There's some like little character moments that I think went a really long way in a movie that was kind of highly spectacle, which I mean I love. It's one of my favorite movie genres is the superhero genre, so it's not like I don't like spectacle films, but I think...
But you get lucky when you have a good blend of spectacle and character.
The best ones are always the ones that make me really, really care about the characters. And I can't say I did, but I didn't care as much that I didn't in this one.
Yeah.
Like, I thought everything was so neat, and it was very much 90s, and I just kind of...
It's definitive 90s.
Yeah, so, like, I didn't really care that much, because I just thought there was something very special to it. There's an authenticity to Jurassic Park, oddly enough.
I think a lot of what comes out of like the way that you care about those characters is the way that they are passionate about, you know, when you have Ellie, Laura Dern and Sam Neill as Dr. Grant and Ellie, like the way that they just like are so astounded by these creatures and finally being able to see them in a living, breathing form, or Lex with her computers and stuff.
Oh yeah, like, and I thought the little kids were like some of the better kid actors
that you would ever see, probably.
Because they were just like, you weren't like sitting there like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's not eye rolling level like you get today.
Like the precociousness, like I don't know. I really like this movie. Again, it's my second favorite. But I mean, to be fair, I've seen like War of the Worlds and War Horse.
War Horse.
Most of War Horse.
But most of War Horse. That's right. Yeah, and then, you know, Jurassic Park, The Lost World was way more spectacle, and you don't even care about the characters at all. Vince Vaughn is in that one, and...
Oh, the next one?
Yeah, it's like, and then Jurassic Park 3 is just kind of like... I'm excited for Jurassic World. That's the new one. Because Chris Pratt's in it, and I don't know if you saw Safety Not Guaranteed, but the guy...
Yes, I saw Safety Not Guaranteed.
Is it good?
Do you know me? Yes, I love it.
The director of that guy's doing that.
Which is funny because Aubrey Plaza was in that movie. You know, Chris Pratt's in this movie. And a couple in Parks and Rec. I guess who started the show
she might be able to sneak in there. And then the two guys that wrote the new Planet of the Apes movies.
Oh, okay.
So they're working on it. Yeah. So I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah,
I like it.
That movie just recently was re-released in the theater last spring, so Jurassic Park also has a Blu Ray edition. You can get like the 3D or the Steelbooks, and there's a couple of different versions out there. But if you haven't seen it before, like, you know, now's the time to do it. With there's a new one coming out in a couple of years, but like now that it's got that really beautiful transfer, yeah.
And it's not dated, so. Same with Almost Famous. Like, both these movies,
they stay relevant. Yeah, definitely. So we'll exchange movies, not right now, but again at some point, or if anyone that comments, tweets at us, whatever, has any kind of like suggestions. Yeah, you have a list. I mean, I have a list too, so we'll work on it.
It's cool, man.
Film is great. We'll see you guys later.